What is up, everyone? It is Dan over at Tech Marketer with this week's newsletter. This one is actually brought to you by a question in the AgencyZoom Facebook group. So somebody had brought up, how do you handle winbacks, right, and X dates and things like that for former clients? So I'm going to show you exactly how I do it here. So what we've got is you're going to need to configure a couple things inside of your service request, right? So you're going to have a service category. I prefer, client canceling, client cancellation request, whatever it is, but a category and also a service resolution type, right? So you've got your canceled, completed, whatever. I would also add in like a canceled win back, and I will show you why here in just a second. So once you've done that, you come into your service here, right? So I've already got a dummy one kind of queued up. So somebody calls in, cancels, it's their last policy with you. It's somebody that you would like to win back at some point in time, right? Because obviously you don't want to win back all of your clients that cancel, but let's say this is somebody that you do actually want to bring back at some point. So you come in here, you create the service request, you pick your category here, right? Your service canceling, whatever. And now if I go ahead and throw this as a hi, I'm just going to go ahead and save this here, just test, and let's go ahead and just put it in request received for now. So the reason why I decided to also create an extra, or why I would create a service completion, is when you drag this into completed, obviously it's going to give you a resolution type. So on your resolution type, if you've got something like canceled win back, for example, what you can do is you can create some automation based off of that. So if I come into, so I'm just going to cancel this here. If I come into my service automation, so this is my completed stage. You can see I've got kind of a dummy one sitting right here, an automated email placeholder for winback parser. So what I can do is I can create an email and only have it be, so let's say service client canceling, and also these resolution types. So this can be where my completed winback or canceled winback comes into play here. Sender. So again, this is something that we are, that we talked about before. Sender doesn't really matter, but the send to the recipient, talked about this on a previous video, creating a user for a specific person. And then you come up and you select that parser, right? So I've got a rewrite parser for this one here, would just be, a win back parser or something along those lines. So I'm going to send all this. I'm going to send it off. I'm going to use these placeholders to grab things like first name, last name, policy info, cancellation date, right? All that is going to be good information to have in here. It's going to send the email to the parser, grab all of that, and then it's going to drop it into a win back pipeline that I've got. Now here is where the really fun stuff happens, right? So it comes into this, this is just a dummy win back one. If I go into, let's see here, my prospecting and my test pipeline and new, here's where it's going to get really fun. Come up here, automation, add a tag. But I don't want it to add immediately. I want it to add prior to the next expiration date. And I want it to be, let's just call it, 45 days before the next expiration. I want it to apply this very specific tag, and we'll just call it a win back tag or, whatever. Now, here's the next cool part. After you create your automation, or you create that tag here, I want to send an email, and I want it to be, and you can even just build this backwards, right? It can be 45 days prior to the next expiration, this email goes, then 40 days, then 30 days. Or you can add it, applying to these tags, these specific tags. I'm just going to select Tech Marketer here. So once it's in this stage and it has this tag, then it's going to send that email or that text message, right? So instead of having to manually go in and manually apply this tag or manually put them in a pipeline, drop it in here automatically and just build the automation in reverse, right? So instead of days after a new lead, prior to next expiration, let's send an email 45 days in advance because I really want to try to win this person back. I'm going to send a text message 44 days in advance and say, hey, I sent you an email yesterday. Love to get your business back. Let me know if you've got some time to chat. Something along those lines. So very, very cool thing that you can do inside of AgencyZoom. I'm also going to post this in, obviously, the AgencyZoom page, the group rather. But yes, this is how I would handle win backs for clients that you do actually want to win back inside of AgencyZoom. So As always, hopefully this was useful. If it's not, let me know. If it was, also let me know. And if there's anything else you want me to cover, just hit me up. I'll talk to you guys next week.